Welcome folks, this is Wear and Tear, yet another YouTube outdoor and gear review channel. This time an indoor review with a very large knife. They say that the male equivalent of the crazy female cat lady is the crazy male knife guy. I don't know if that is true, but this knife certainly lends credibility to that idea. So I have here the Luzon Large, made by Cold Steel. And it is indeed a very large knife. As the manufacturer's website says, handsome and budget friendly and a breeze to flip open. The Luzons are a formidable choice for those going in harm's way. And with this knife you're definitely going into harm's way because it's razor sharp, it's very large, and well, take care of yourself when you handle it. The manufacturer also says offering incomparable levels of safety. They're equipped with a sturdy leaf spring lock and a patent-pending secondary safety mechanism that, when it is engaged, is extremely resistant to shock and impact. Yeah, so this is basically a knife with a standard liner lock, like we know it from so many other knives. And there is a secondary safety lock. So when you engage this lock, then the liner lock is definitely blocked. It can't go nowhere. It can't go back under no circumstances. Because if such a large knife falls for some reason, it could happen that the liner lock disengages, but not with that secondary safety lock on. I know secondary safety locks like that, for example, from CRKT knives, but this is definitely a more solid solution. So as far as a liner lock type lock system goes, this is probably one of the better variations. Now this is a very big blade that balances on ball bearings. So I don't know if you can see it here, but this blade balances on regular ball bearings, nothing too fancy. So this is why it flips nicely despite its very large size. Now ball bearings of course come with the disadvantage, especially ball bearings like this. They're built in a non-enclosed style, so the balls are open to the air, so dirt and stuff, debris can get in easily, and this would of course diminish the function of the flipper action. And so also because this is a very large blade and all of that weight, all of those forces, of course, they go into those ball bearings. So there is not a whole lot of stability in a lateral way, not as much as in regular cold steels, but of course laterally there is no way with a folder anyways that you can really properly deal with such forces. Better take a fixed blade. Now as you can see here, the thumb studs, are actually pushed against the metal liners in here, so if you hack with that knife you still have a very stable knife that will not give in easily. Now as for hacking with this knife, of course this knife is made, as Cold Steel says, for self-defense and tactical purposes. This is Cold Steel's shtick anyways, so I don't plan to go in harm's way with this knife or anything like that. It's ridiculously large. You should not wear it in public places or something like that. It's not really good in the woods because of the ball bearings, but as a knife it's really beautiful. I like the beautiful polished blade. It comes ridiculously sharp out of the box. This is some ACR, I think 13 MOV steel from China, something like a 440C. So it is a good budget steel that will not let you down, but of course it's not something like an AUS 10 steel or even higher grade steels like Cold Steel uses them on their higher end knives. This is definitely a budget knife. The handle is made of glass fiber reinforced nylons. It's a fancy plastic handle. which I like, which is absolutely sufficient for most tasks. I also like the belt clip, which is entirely made of plastic. Kind of lends itself to concealed carry. With the right type of pants, you can carry this thing concealed. I don't know why you would do it, but okay, if that is your thing. Now you can wave that knife open. Waving it open is a little bit of a hit and miss thing. I think it depends a lot on your skills and on the pants that you're wearing, but you can definitely wave it open, which is a lot of fun. So this knife, in my opinion, is really nice to play with. If you're into knife, you'll just like this knife as well. If you're into knives, can you use it as a kitchen knife or whatever? Are there any civilian purposes to this thing? I don't know. I didn't buy it. It was given to me by a work colleague for review, so thank you very much. He also subscribed to my channel. I basically make all my work colleagues subscribe to my channel. That's where I have my subscriber base from. So I just grab their phones and force subscribe them. That's also a strategy to survive on YouTube this day and age. Now anyways, just to compare two different cold steels that I have. Cold steel counterpoint 1. This is what most people would consider a large knife. And it's a very practical knife. So this is where we are. The Racha 3, which is my favorite outdoor and everyday carry knife these days, is really awesome. And there's another very large knife from Cold Steel. This is the Voyager extra large, which is also a very practical, very capable outdoor knife. So you see that the Voyager is dwarfed by a large Luzon. But of course the Voyager is much more robust, has better steel and everything. So if you want a very large knife that you can still work with, cut sheet metal in case of emergency, to cut someone out of his car or whatever, you go with the Voyager. If you just want to have a beautiful knife for delicate cutting and stabbing purposes, then you go with the large Luzon. It's a fun blade to play with, and for something between $50 and $70 depending on where you get it, that's really not such a bad price, I think. Now I hope you liked the review. I'm sorry I didn't do any testing on the Luzon. It's not my knife, but I would not expect too much from this because it is a very large knife. It runs on ball bearings and it has a liner lock. There are limits to the capabilities of this knife, but it's still very well made. I mean, this is not a poser knife. It is really a well knife. Of course you can't pose with it, and most people would do that, just like I did in the intro basically. It's more a fun knife than anything else. All the other knives here on the table, they are serious. Just compared with the Rat 1, which is a sufficient knife for most tasks. Just to give you the perspective. Well, I hope you enjoyed my little review or presentation. This is Wear and Tear. Over and out.